My name is Eric, and I'm here to say liking traps is fucking gay. But that's okay, it's the current year. There's nothing wrong with being queer.
Yeah, except it's fucking gay.
Hello, gay community.
This episode is especially for you.
We don't mean it. Yeah, Tyler, whip out your titties.
This episode is brought to you by abortion.
Did you know?
Okay.
Did you know a male penis only constitutes about 2.19% of the male body on average? But even though traps are technically feminine looking, they still have a penis. Meaning, even though you're only 2.19% gay, you're still gay.
Hey everybody, welcome to the MD cast. It's the normal crew. It's the Jew crew, the Poo crew, the You crew, and the Me crew, and Zaboomafoo.
And Zaboomafoo.
Yep.
We're high. Except for Q. Q doesn't do drugs because he's a respectable individual.
I do alcohol.
Yeah, he does alcohol.
Let me correct you, I am not a good person.
That'll be on the test later.
Yeah. MD quiz.
Tyler, you're gonna have to take the test.
Oh, no.
You
want to graduate?
It's the MD prostate exam.
Why doesn't he fucking do it?
You need to have a.
He's Asian. We already know he passed.
You need to have a tight butthole. You need to be circumcised. You need to have a throat diameter of like 48.
Throat diameter.
You need to have a throat wingspan of at least 2 meters.
Damn, I don't even have enough wings in my throat.
What about urethra dimensions?
That has to be 3 nautical miles.
I haven't measured in a bit, got to get the equipment out.
You need to spread, and if you that's where the no foreskin comes in. That kind of helps. But you need to be able to squirt some siracha in there, and if
you got to be able to suck up cars like Sandy
you need
Cheeks,
to, you know that TikTok thing where like people are pouring like lemon juice in their eyes, and it's like they're like, oh, they're freaking out a bit, and then they do the hand in front of their face, and they have to be like stone faced.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. If you make a face, then sorry, don't pass.
Yeah,
but,
don't have face. Be Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah, that's a good tie-in. We watched Drive today because these fine gentlemen haven't seen it, and I wanted to show them it.
And we saw it. It was pretty neato.
It's pretty
It's pretty average.
Okay, Tyler, the movie critic, give us your 3-page essay on on Drive and why it is mediocre.
I wouldn't say it's mediocre.
You said it's pretty okay or whatever.
I said pretty average.
Pretty average.
That's
what mediocre means.
Pretty mediocre.
I thought it was slightly above average.
Okay. Q can give a more proper diagnosis. Q, it's on to you.
Okay. Well, for one, it's not Fast and Furious. Fucking garbage. If anyone likes that shit, you guys don't like cars.
It's more like the slow and the serious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? That's the title of my college thesis on Ryan Gosling and Toothpick theory.
Toothpick theory. Okay, we're probably, because we're stupid. It's just because we're stupid. It'll just be boiled down to that. But
yeah.
We watched it, and he asked the kid, hey, want a toothpick? And then we just kept saying that at any scene that he popped up in when he was looking at somebody else, which is a lot of the movie, by the way.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time looking at people. So he spends a lot of time offering toothpicks.
I swear, after seeing that movie, and what was that? Blade Runner?
Blade Runner? Yeah, the other Ryan Gosling movie.
That was Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling has...
in the second one.
Yeah, the second
That's
one.
A reboot. It's like there was 3 movies before that in the 80s or something.
Isn't it more like, I think it's more of a sequel because the guy from the old one.
I thought there was only one Blade Runner movie until they released Blade Runner 20 whatever the fuck.
2024. No, not 2024.
2070 something?
2029.
2046? I don't know, whatever it is.
Numbers in the future. Yes.
Yeah.
What do they mean?
The first one was Harrison Ford. The second one, Harrison Ford was also in it, but Ryan Gosling was the main guy.
Okay. I knew Harrison Ford was in them. I just didn't know that Ryan Gosling was the second one.
Of the in proportion.
But, honestly, Drive was alright. I feel like the plot was a little lacking. And, there's no motivation for the main character to have done what he has done all the way.
He's a simp.
Yeah, literally. He was legitimately a simp and a Chad at the same time. I don't know how that's even possible. He probably has like 40 different OnlyFans accounts just to like I don't know, subscribe. But like my impression is just like it felt like Ryan Gosling's character felt like John Wick, except it was even more awkward than Keanu Reeves.
Well, that's just what Ryan Gosling does.
He is probably the most awkward character I've ever seen in movies.
I'm actually going to put it on the list, the perpetual movie list that grows ever more that we need to watch. But there's a movie with Ryan Gosling, and he falls in love with a like real doll kind of thing.
Oh,
What's the name?
I don't remember, but I can definitely find it in a second.
He falls in love with what?
a doll.
Ryan Gosling falls in love with a doll.
According to Wikipedia, the film
Lars and the Real Girl.
Never heard of it.
That sounds like a lame title.
Drive sounds like a lame title.
I mean, but like, I wasn't a fan of how Drive had just so many parts of just fucking nothing. Like,
Yeah.
where it
Just those
I
scenes
get-
where it was just a picture of him, just
it's
for like a solid 2 minutes.
I get the idea of trying to set an atmosphere or trying to set a tone or something like that, but everything dragged on way too long in that respect. But the parts where things happened, I did like it. I liked how he was kind of like action movie-y in how he was able to deal with things, but it wasn't like unrealistic levels of action movie like a lot of things go for. It seemed pretty grounded to me. Like, you know, if he goes in to try and deal with some thug who's pulling some gang shit, there's only one dude there, and he starts by breaking his hand before even saying a word to him. So, and I feel that's a lot more realistic than a lot of movies where they come in, say, "I'm here because I don't like you," and then like 5 armed dudes pop out and say, "Well, you better get out of here," and then he fights them all off. I'm glad it was more grounded.
Can I pop a question real quick, though?
Sure, Tyler, pop a question like a fucking cap in this ass.
I don't think
Or
you
a
want to
cherry.
say that.
Or cherry.
Pop a cap in my head.
Well, anyways, did no one ever really question, like, at first we all thought this guy was just like some mundane guy who knew how to drive really well. But when it came to action, he was like full on trained or fucking grew up with that shit. Did no one question that?
Well, that's the thing too. Like they even say it. He just kind of came out of nowhere at the one guy's shop.
So where's the pre-sequel?
No, it's just a sequel. It's not a pre-sequel. There
It's
has to
actually
be
just a
sequel
prequel.
first, or prequel first.
But like, I thought it was, I was able to accept it because we know he takes on jobs that are like, you know, crime shit. It's like, look, do shit. I'll drive you out. Don't give a shit about what you're doing. And I feel with that kind of setup and everything, I feel it's a little more reasonable to presume like, okay, this man has some kind of past or at least is prepared for a given situation. And, you know, again, one of the things I kind of liked about it in that regard is that it was kind of like how he had his professionalism, and then once it started getting personal, that's when everything fell apart.
Yeah, I can
But,
agree with
like,
that.
I never really questioned why he was able to do action-y shit, because I just figured, like, this is the career he chose for himself, and he's been, when he understands what he's gotten into, so he prepared himself. He figured out what he's doing through either practice or otherwise.
That entire time you were saying that, I imagined if like there was a pre-sequel for like Deadpool, and like he
It was just driver.
No, he saves someone, and then he's like, "Hey, check me out on like TikTok," and then
What?
and then like before he walks away, he runs back to the camera and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, computer nerds. TikTok wasn't invented yet, but here, check this out." And then it resumes, and then the guy that he says, "Check me out on TikTok," is like, "What's TikTok?"
Oh my god.
Tell me that wouldn't be in the movie.
That would be
Tell
fucking
me I'm wrong.
amazing.
I can't because I never even watched Deadpool.
You don't have to.
Yeah, fair enough.
That would be a Deadpool move as well.
It would be, as far as I know.
I don't know. Getting back to Drive, though, I mean, I feel like it had way too many
Toothpicks.
non-climax scenes. That too.
What do you mean? What do you say?
Toothpicks.
Too many?
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
There was like, yeah. Every
It
scene he
wasn't
comes
enough.
out with, every scene that Ryan Gosling is in, he should have an extra. And then towards the end,
Like a
he'd
body
have, like,
extra behind him.
He should
and then
always
making his
ask
moves.
someone if they want a toothpick.
I feel like there's so many things that I want to do to movies just to make them more funny. Where like it'll take a really serious movie, but it'll only change one thing that like ruins the whole experience. Like if they just had a body double for Ryan Gosling following him around at all times, but only like ever standing like maybe 2 feet behind him.
And wearing that mask.
Yeah, and not doing anything at all. Just standing there.
So being Ryan Gosling?
And nobody questions it. Nobody else in the movie. They're just like, they're looking at like regular Ryan Gosling. It's like he's just a shadow.
So Ryan Gosling is banging that chick, and the mask is just standing there staring at
Yeah,
him.
and nobody questions it. Nobody does anything.
Well, that sounds like the setup for a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, but like nothing horror happens.
That's not funny, it's scary!
Yes, it is. It's funny. It's funny to me.
No, at the end, the double has to say, "Want a toothpick?"
just at the end.
No, he walks up to Ryan Gosling when he's like dying in the car, and he's like, "Want a toothpick?"
It's like at the very end. No one acknowledges him at all. And then at the very end, they're just kind of standing there, and then just without a word, he holds out his hand, and the other one just gives him a toothpick. Just like, it's been there the whole time.
A new Ryan Gosling sprouts out of the toothpick.
he dies at the end, and fucking toothpick grows into another one.
That's why he never eats. He never has his cereal.
He ate at the fucking little diner place.
No, like
No,
you
he
know.
ate with the chick and
Stop
the
spitting.
what's his face?
No, I mean
Oh, Dameron.
Ryan Gosling as an actor doesn't eat.
Oh.
You okay? I feel stupid for explaining this. There was a meme going around where like people were holding up like spoons to Ryan Gosling, like they're in front of their TV, and like Ryan Gosling will turn his head away or he'll put his mask on or something. And it got to the point that one day he went on fucking Twitter or Instagram or something, and he sat down in front of the camera, he grabbed a spoonful of cereal and he ate it.
I've seen that video.
Never heard of this.
It's an old Vine meme where people would try to feed the TV where like the actor was, and they'd always be like, "No."
How many Vine offshoots are there going to be? Like Vine went down. TikTok
Wait
is
until
going
TikTok
down.
goes down because
Usually
of
that's
fucking
one.
conspiracy or surveillance bullshit, and then there'll be another one.
There's one called Bite that's going on right now.
Never heard of it.
What is
Don't matter.
Bite?
It's meant to be like TikTok rebranding.
Okay,
Not TikTok, Vine.
fine.
It's made by the creator of Vine, I think.
Watch it never go anywhere.
I haven't heard anything about it in a long time, so.
Because TikTok is still going,
Man.
technically.
Bring back Tumblr.
No.
No.
Let it
MySpace?
die.
MySpace?
I redrew this character to be more realistic. Shut up.
I
Bring
want to draw Ryan Gosling to be more realistic.
No, bring back
He
the
draws
board
like a-
on Tumblr.
They give him like 6 chins. And he's,
Me too, man.
That's the only reason why
okay,
I went on
picture this.
Tumblr.
I drew Ryan Gosling more realistic, and he's got like 3 chins, and his bottom lip's hanging down, and he's got a big unibrow.
Just a giant toothpick in his mouth.
Fucking hairy armpits, short stubby legs.
I think we're just describing
That ugly
Danny DeVito
bastard.
at this point.
Whoa, now.
But why? That's one thing I'm going to tackle now. Why is it that like so many people on Instagram now, because they don't have much of a place on Tumblr anymore, but like just people going and being like, I drew this character with more realistic proportions.
Bitch, just
'Cause
say it's
people
my
don't like to
version.
have
Who
fun.
gives a fuck? Like, why do they have to vehemently say like, "Oh, you're wrong. My drawing is right." Like, bitch, just say it's a fan art. Like, who gives
It's a fucking drawing. Anything is literally possible.
Okay.
Like, and then, you know...
If you don't like people making these characters, go and make some that you like for yourself.
Well,
like, good luck with any
here's their
fucking One Piece
hypocrisy, right?
character.
Here's their hypocrisy. These are the type of people that love fucking Steven Universe, right? And then their friggin' characters are vehemently out of proportion. I don't know if you've seen it. Their heads are like
They don't
4 times the size of their body, or
that, and no one knows how to actually stay on model, so it changes every fucking scene.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, this anime titty girl has too many big titties."
But
Like,
the porn of it.
I don't know.
But like, and I hate that thing, right? I hate this, especially with the people being like, "Oh, this character looks like a child. That's so horrible." And
But,
it's
like-
Make her 200 years old.
What about, like, literally every other anime out there that has actual children? Why are they only going after this one?
Because this
That
one-
is of age!
because they don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that. They
Yeah.
don't give it.
I
They
didn't
just
even
know
see
it's the
this
popular
anime
one.
yet, too.
This,
That's the thing.
here's a flashback. I remember a couple
Which one?
podcasts ago.
Uzaki-chan, or whatever
That's
it
the
is.
one
Big
that I
titty
read.
lady with Sugoi Dekai shirt.
That's the one that I read the first
I know what I'm
manga
searching
of.
up.
I read the first manga of that one, and that was the one that I said, this is nothing. This is just nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know why people care so much about it.
What?
Uzaki, whatever the fuck.
Well,
Oh,
Uzaki
is that like
Body.
the fucking super short?
Super
Yes.
short, big
Hell
titty,
big
silver
tits.
hair.
You would know her because she's been seen everywhere.
I see a lot of porn of her.
So is everybody.
Yeah. And
Um,
you're like, I always want to bring up, like, I see people like, oh, I redesigned Uzaki or whatever the fuck. I'm like, first of all, you just whitewashed her. Second of all, have you never seen like the average height of a Japanese woman?
As well
probably
as,
better
like,
in-
why is it such an
Canada.
anomaly that like this body proportion is impossible? No,
It's fucking anime, dude.
Well,
For
not
one,
only that.
no, it's not. Like, it's not impossible.
Oh yeah.
Well, apparently, Uzaki-chan, people already like debunked it. Apparently, she's very much proportionate because an average human female is about 6 head height, and that's what they base off it in anime usually to draw their height. And she is very much proportionately correct. Like, she's just short and stacked. That's it. Like, it's genetics at this point.
Reminds me like one god awful anime. It was just full of girls with like fucking triple Z boobs.
Are you talking Aiken?
I don't know, maybe.
The only anomaly for height I've seen is Code Geass, and everyone is literally a fucking skeleton, and they're 7 feet tall. I don't know if you guys
That's
see
Hellsing
that.
Ultimate too.
Oh, that too. The older animes are very guilty of doing that, but like I didn't see any issue with
Well,
it.
a lot of it was style based too.
Yeah,
that was
oh,
just
yeah.
what was
Cowboy
going around.
Bebop.
And you
Yeah,
know
Cowboy
that's
Bebop.
the thing, right? It's one of those things you see it with a lot of people complain about this and that for proportion. It's like, have you actually noticed the fact that these are stylized?
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of anime
This is
and people are
normal.
like,
Why
oh,
does anybody
this
care
char-
about anime this much?
Because people don't want people want Japan to be America. They want Japan to be
they want
America.
to
They don't
force
care
their
about
culture
anything
on
else.
them. And then my favorite is when Japanese people go on Twitter and starts roasting American cartoons, like and Americans. It's just
I
like,
roast American cartoons.
I
'Cause
don't
they're
watch
shit.
it. The only the good ones that I remember
Avatar: The
watching.
Last Airbender is one of those examples.
Yeah, that's the rare
Well,
one.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah, that
in
one from
childhood
like years
days,
and fucking years ago.
Kids Next Door. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
freaking banger.
There's plenty that are good from Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
Back then, Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, from Nickelodeon, OG
SpongeBob when it was
SpongeBob.
good. Yeah.
I get
Oh,
it,
bro,
Defenders.
Ben 10 was pretty good for the time.
Yes. I agree
Um,
with that.
Fairly Odd Parents, I really liked.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Banger right there.
Early Total Drama Island.
First Total Drama Island.
First
I
season
hated the art
was
style
okay.
of Total
Yeah, I
Drama
hated
Island.
the art.
I
But
still do.
I liked the story.
Big Man was weird because he had that fucking big body but fucking legs the size of this.
Yeah. What else?
16. I liked 16.
Oh my god, how could I forget this one?
I don't
Disney
watch it.
Kim Possible. That was like my fucking
Oh.
favorite.
I enjoyed Kim Possible, but I never watched very much of it.
I was like,
I
because
love
I was
Kim
back. I was
Possible.
back then. I was into
Proud
like James
Family.
Bond and shit, right? Because me being the average
I know
teenage,
that one, but
or
I
no,
don't
like
know that
There's a bunch of-
preteen
but a black
guy.
family.
I was like, "Yo, spy," and it's a chick.
It's
That's
I
fucking
love
badass.
the grandma. She's a total badass.
I do remember.
What
that
else
now.
is there? Is there?
You ever watch Fillmore?
Fillmore?
That
Fillmore
name's
Green?
really
Tom and
familiar.
Jerry.
Fillmore was it was about like some bald black dude in like fucking high school or whatever, and he was like a delinquent, but then he gets like caught by the fucking school police, and they're like, we're putting you on the special forces, and it was like this, it would like parody like noir shit and crime thrillers, but in a high school setting.
Oh my fucking god!
And his sidekick, his like partner was this goth girl.
I remember that shit.
Now you know.
Yeah,
I
now
don't remember. What year was this?
Fucking.
Oh, this was back when.
I'm older than you guys, right?
By like a year?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. How
I'm
old are you?
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a year older than us.
You're older. I don't remember this shit. Maybe it's a States thing. I don't know if it's. Like,
I mean, to
Canada
be honest,
States
no
thing.
one fucking remembers Fillmore.
'Cause I don't remember it.
I remember a lot of shit from that show.
What else
I'm
was
not
on
good with
Disney
names.
Channel, eh?
I actually really liked Phineas and Ferb.
Oh,
That's
good.
one of the ones everyone knows, everyone loves. Never watched it. Like, I
liked
only
it.
ever saw it because I was like at someone else's house and they're like, and TV's on. It's like, oh, it's Phineas and Ferb. I love them. Like, what the fuck is a Ferb?
How about Bakugan?
I actually never really watched many shows like Bakugan or Pokemon when I was younger.
I watched the
I watched-
Beat 'em on anime.
I only ever watched the Pokemon movies. I've
Hey.
never seen the Pokemon anime.
My first anime was Full Metal Alchemist, so I had it good, man.
Full Metal Alchemist. Malcolm in the Middle! Even though that wasn't animated.
No.
Best anime?
If we're talking like those reality like comedy shows, what is it? Sweet Life.
Sweet Life is actually.
Yeah.
Sweet Life was good. That's So Raven was pretty good in my opinion.
Never watched much of Ray.
What else is there? Malcolm in the Middle. Family
Hold on,
Matters is
we're
my.
we're
number
forgetting
one.
a pretty big one.
What?
Teen Titans.
I didn't watch it that much.
I
It
didn't
wasn't
watch a
my
whole
thing.
lot of Teen
I didn't
Titans.
like.
Oh my
I didn't like
God.
superheroes
What?
very much, and I still don't.
I
so.
I don't
I've
like
loved it.
superheroes anymore, but I really like Teen Titans.
Teen Titan, like the old cartoon, is a classic.
I always had the biggest
Yeah, I
crush
know
on,
it's a classic.
I had the
but just
biggest
didn't
crush
like
on
it.
Starfire, not Raven.
I
Mine
mean,
was
fair
Raven.
enough.
And the Earth Girl.
Now,
Frankie from
Tara.
Foster. Come on, man.
we've
Tara?
been talking.
Tara.
We've been talking about the good ones. Who here remembers Lunatics Unleashed?
I've heard of it.
I might.
Do you don't know?
I don't.
I've
I
heard
don't
of it.
It
remember
was the Looney Tunes, but in like this edgy superhero thing.
Yep.
Oh,
Daffy Duck!
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Show
was-
me a picture of it.
I remember it now.
But
I-
it was
No, hold on.
Duck Dodgers!
Duck Dodgers too. Duck Dodgers.
fucking.
Yeah, that's a part I don't want to
I
remember.
remember.
That's why I forget all the bad
What was
ones.
it called?
I remember
Lunatics
Queen
Unleashed.
Tyranny.
With two
I
O's.
remember Queen
What?
Tyranny.
Lunatics Unleashed.
What else was bad?
Um,
I don't like any of the new shit they're redoing. I don't like what is that? What's that one with the bird named Mordecai and the fucking raccoon?
Oh, regular show.
I thought
I
that,
don't
one
like
was
that
pretty
one.
good. Well,
I
like,
never
I've
watched
never
it.
seen it, but I
Like-
really liked Adventure Time.
Futurama.
Futurama. Well, that's adult cartoons. We'll get into that later.
Okay, that's fair.
Because there's a lot of good ones and bad
Well,
ones.
even
depending
then
on the
with
era.
Do you
shit
remember
like
Coconut Fred?
Yes.
Yes.
Jacob
yes.
Tutu?
Jacob.
Jacob.
What was it? Camp Laszlo? You guys remember that?
I
remember
do.
that.
I didn't
I
like
like.
that
I
one.
like that.
I
I-
didn't like that one.
I was okay with it. I just
Yeah.
remember that
2005.
that fucking one episode where the dude watched the movie that was like for adults that when he wasn't an adult yet. It was like a day before his birthday and he fucking melted. And it was like this horrifying scene where he's like watching it but he's locked in the room so he can't stop and he's like, ah!
Camp Laszlo was a fucking curse.
I liked it because it was like a Cartoon Network's version of SpongeBob to me. That's what I felt.
Well, the thing is, I just watched SpongeBob.
Well, that's
I
when
didn't-
I was
felt that.
privileged and I watched SpongeBob.
What do you mean privileged? Honestly,
fucking-
it was harder to watch Cartoon Network shows than it was other shows. They just were never on.
Oh, really?
That's fair.
I
Adventure
They were
never
more
Time.
watched a lot of them.
on. Dude, I was lucky if I could catch SpongeBob on because, like, Cartoon Network work was on friggin' 24/7.
Well, like the thing is,
League
right,
of Super Evil.
Ew.
I didn't like that one, but that's a big one. Kid versus Cat.
I know that
I
one.
don't remember that one.
I hated that one. I hated.
Wasn't the
fucking-
cat a
I
fucking
loved-
alien?
I
Yeah,
love
Cat
Kid
was an
versus
alien.
Cat. Alright,
Scooby-Doo.
Here's my Scooby-Doo. Here was how I judged cartoons when I was a kid. If I changed it to another channel because a certain one came on, it wasn't good.
Yeah, pretty much.
God,
That's why I would surf between Disney, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon.
anyone
Yeah.
fucking remember YTV?
I sure do.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
I used to
know
watch
what
a
that
lot
is.
of YTV actually.
Carlos and Sugar.
Carlos is on Entertainment Tonight. That's on one of those shows that my mom watches now.
Yeah,
Damn,
he's
Carlos.
moving up.
I wouldn't say it's moving up. I would rather be on a kids show having fun and happy than being on fucking...
YTV closed down. Or they probably merged with fucking one of the other ones.
They merged with something else, but I think he even got the offer to stay. Man, Carlos... I like Carlos.
Carlos, come on the podcast.
No.
Where the hell am I gonna find Family Matters on DVD? I would fucking watch that shit again. You guys remember? You guys ever seen that show?
Maybe.
90s live action comedy type of thing, like a show like Malcolm in the
Fucking
Middle.
Steve Urkel.
Yeah, literally that show.
Oh, okay.
Steve Urkel.
I only ever caught, like, old reruns of them.
That's my favorite show ever. I remember that being like my favorite of the live
A
action
good
ones.
Disney show. I enjoyed it. Most might have not. Phil from the Future.
Huh?
Remember What's with Andy?
No, I don't watch Disney that much.
Jimmy
Living Life
Neutron.
with
How do you
Derek.
guys feel about Jimmy Neutron?
It was all right.
I never watched much of it, but I always thought it was pretty ugly.
Yeah, that was my initial impressions too. My favorite Jimmy Neutron is the crossover with Fairly Odd Parents. if you guys
Yeah.
remember that one.
Just
That was
no
my favorite.
animation change.
Yeah, literally, that was my favorite part because the animation was actually
Bro.
bearable. But
When they
Phineas-
went into the Jimmy Neutron fucking universe though.
Jimmy Neutron. The
That was
pizza
scary.
is aggressive.
Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. That's what it was called.
what was it? Shit. Phineas and Ferb was Jimmy Neutron for me back then.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, it feels better. I don't know. Like, it was more realistic in a way.
I liked
don't know.
Fish Hooks too.
No, it wasn't realistic, but like more
Fish Hooks was alright.
fish hooks.
Yeah, Fish
Sorry.
Hooks. It was a high school like TV animated thing, but it was like it followed fish that were like in a high school. Yeah, they were in a high school. It
I
followed
think I've
three
heard
fish
of it,
friends.
but I don't remember watching
I
it.
want to say I've heard of it, but I can't fucking place a visual to it.
No,
had a
Danny
redhead.
Phantom.
Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He's a fan.
I really like Fairly Odd Parents art style. That was like one of my favorite art styles in
Here's
cartoons.
what I need to say. Right? Need to get
Famous.
this off. I need to get this out. I've been holding off on it for too long. It's been boiling up inside, making me angry, making me upset, making me red in the face. All right.
Transgender
So
are you?
no,
You're gay.
we get it. But all right. So you know how the newest Scooby-Doo movie came out, and
No.
they made
Let's call it just Scoob. Then
yeah,
they,
it was just called Scoob. Or
Oh,
something.
Scoob, yeah.
Yeah.
they mixed it with that one old cartoon about fucking evil lawyer.
Dick Dastardly, Captain Caveman, and like I can't remember what else. But anyways, you see, I know how Warner Bros. Can save their asses. I'm not saying the movie was bad. I liked the movie. I liked how they revamped some of the characters. Everyone was like, "Oh, Velma isn't Mexican." You know what? She's chocolate waifu now. I don't give a shit. But they made Daphne more likable too. But here's what they could do. I'm gonna one-up them. They don't have to make movies anymore. They don't have to make TV shows anymore. You release OnlyFans for every single one of the characters.
Dog.
I mean,
Give me an OnlyFans of the creeper!
Wasn't there a really hot cop or something?
yes, there was but that was a
That's
disguise.
the old cartoon.
But hold on a minute. They had a poster for the Hex Girls in it. Now let me backtrack again. Okay, if maybe you don't want to make.
Did they ever bring
OnlyFans.
back the Hex Girls and
No.
anything else?
No.
Unfortunately.
But here's the thing. That's what I'm getting to.
An old Scooby-Doo movie.
Waifus.
If
Top
they made another Scooby-Doo movie, if they don't want to do OnlyFans stuff, granted, like I'm a businessman. I'm not saying it's right.
I'm a businessman.
I'm a
I would buy
businessman.
Velmas.
I know what would sell, but if you made another movie and just centered around the Hex Girls. Woo-wee! Sales.
You would have
people.
all those
You know-
kids and adults ready to fucking beat their meat.
Sex sells.
Uh,
And that goes across every medium.
Hex, sex.
Yes.
Hex
Boy.
sells.
No,
Wait,
what
what-
is this? What is this TV show that reminded me? It was like a Spy Girls.
Totally Spies.
That was a good one. I remember it being pretty good. It was
Every
fucking dumb.
episode was a fucking fetish.
Yep.
It was so dumb. It was legitimately like Barbie, but like I remember liking that shit.
I remember actually watching a lot of that one.
There's only one Barbie movie I ever liked, and that was The Nutcracker.
I've never seen any Barbie.
Did you ever see? I forget if it was Marvin or Martin, but it was like Marvin Mystery,
Oh, I've heard of it.
and it crossed over with Totally Spies once. It was the one where the kid looked like fucking Johnny Test or some shit.
Do
but
you
it was
remember-
like anime style?
do you
but
remember
Western.
being-
Johnny
Ian?
Test. I love that.
Don't
shit.
talk about that.
Ian.
Don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
Which one?
Johnny Test.
Why?
I liked it.
Stop it.
I liked when
Did
Johnny
you like
Test
Eric
got turned
Stairs?
into a big titty
Oh.
girl.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah, it happened.
No, say it again. I didn't hear it.
Dude, the sisters.
Went no.
Johnny
Cute.
Test got
Cute.
turned into a big titty girl.
Oh, yeah.
And if they are 16, it's legal.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's 18.
It's 16.
No.
No.
I swear to God.
Tyler is on the prowl.
We made it. Delete this just in case. So I'm just saying that right now.
Bleep it out. This entire. Just put reverb in this
This
entire.
broadcast has been taken over by the U.S. government as evidence.
See? 16.
I can't acknowledge that on
I
the
think
air.
that's in America,
Consent in Canada.
You know,
but it's still morally wrong.
I know, but still.
hey, you're the type of guy to go to Pakistan and be like, well, the age of consent is 0, right?
I remember. Here's the thing, though. I remember when I was working at the my old workplace. There were 2 guys there that were party guys. They were real bar crawlers and stuff. But they were 18. They were using fake IDs and stuff. And like they went there and they were like, I hope there's some young girls there. And he's like, oh, I want diapers there, buddy. Diapers.
Oh my god.
A man who knows what he wants.
That's
terrifying.
That is absolutely haram.
Diapers, buddy.
Diapers.
Well, at least they have the fucking balls to admit it.
I think that guy's dead.
I wonder why.
No, he had a very bad cocaine problem. I shouldn't get into this, but because like the last story I heard about him after I quit was he cut himself up a line, and it was half cocaine, half fentanyl.
Oh.
And he snorted it.
Yeah, he's dead.
I have not heard anything about him, and it's been damn near 4 years.
Yeah, he's dead.
Man's over the hills.
Over the hedge.
That was a fucking movie, alright.
That was a good one. I like that one. Alright, can we all agree that Incredibles 1 is the best frickin' 3D animated movie
Yes.
back then?
Alright, here's the thing though. I had the choice between that and, because my dad was like, we can buy like a disc movie if you want, we can keep it. And he was like, do you want Looney Tunes back in action or do you want The Incredibles? And I said, I want Looney Tunes back in action. So, kid me liked it a lot more. Me still like it a lot more. But I will admit Incredibles is very good. I liked the second one too.
I haven't seen it yet.
I enjoyed the second one.
I haven't seen it
The
yet.
second one was pretty good. Yeah. That's another thing. That was the Azuki-chan just wants to hang out at that time. It was, oh, everybody, like, they made Mrs. Elastic's ass too big. Shut up.
They made it just right!
She's elasticy. She's supposed to be permanently thick.
But you know what? There's still not enough porn.
Well, why don't you hit up Shad
No,
Base?
hold on.
No!
Made some.
He is the lead. He is the lead of the Helen Parr porn movement, and it sucks.
That?
Helen Parr was Elastigirl. That was her name.
No. Wait, was that the daughter's name?
No.
No, that was Violet. No,
Yeah,
the
Violet.
daughter was Violet. Helen
It's
Parr
funny
was her name.
because the reason people fan theory here, because Mr. Incredible's old suit was blue, and Elastigirl's was red. Violet.
Ah.
White and red.
Still so fucking red.
You don't get these facts wrong in front of me. I will gouge out your eyes.
It was still red.
I still
had
think
some red.
from that movie, the most memorable character for me was Frozone.
Frozone.
I
was a
love
fucking
Frozone.
Where's
bad.
my super suit?
That's a meme to this day.
I always liked Frozone even in the original.
All right, here's another one. Y'all remember Atlantis?
Best.
No. I mean, obviously, I know what it is because I know
so
you
good.
fucking love it, but I've
I
never seen
love
it.
it. All right.
So good.
Another movie day. It's going on there. We are gonna watch. Oh
Bet.
no! It's fucking on Disney Plus, and I don't want to pay money for Disney Plus.
You can find.
Just go to a
somebody.
Blockbuster. Oh wait. It's that old. It's been how long since it came out? Like
It
probably
was
like
voiced.
2000
He was the main character. Was voiced by Michael J. Fox. It's been a long time.
Oh my god, that movie was a fucking banger. I love that one. That's like a really good fantasy movie.
Another good movie. Kyle's probably heard me talk about it a few times. Titan AE. Anyone remember
Hey.
Titan A.
that? Yeah, AE.
Nope.
Never
was
heard
a-
of it.
Awesome movie. I love the animation for it. Also had a couple top tier waifus.
Top tier waifus. That's how we grade anime from now on. Only from waifus.
You didn't know that?
No plot. No nothing.
We've been doing that for a while.
We're already in deep.
All right. What else is there?
There's a lot of
Treasure
things.
Planet?
There's a lot of.
There's a whole universe, the planets, the moon. The
Oh no,
stars.
he's gonna get into space. Stop him.
There's plenty out there. And you know what makes me most upset? We aren't going to see it!
But what about the things we can see? The movies. Movies, boys.
I think we mentioned this at some point. Sinbad.
Yep, Sinbad.
Sinbad.
That was a great
in the
movie.
last one. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Sibnad.
PEMDAS.
Tarzan. Wait, was that a? That was a movie, right?
Yeah,
Tarzan.
old
Tarzan.
Yeah.
That was
Good
a good
Tarzan.
That one had a lot of people hate on it because it doesn't have like any like uber original like Disney songs in them. It's just Phil Collins. But I like Phil Collins.
What else
He
is
You're a
there?
bad.
10 out of 10 clap gorilla cheeks, you know?
I mean,
He has AIDS.
What about that one scene where he was holding the woman with both his
Both
hands,
arms.
but also swinging on a brand?
He was
or on a
holding out with
fucking
his fucking ass.
line.
maybe he was like mid jump and he was gonna grab another one.
No, he was swinging like that.
No, he was hanging on his neck. You know.
No, that's how the main villain dies.
Oh,
That's
true. What else
Listen.
is there?
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I've seen it once. I don't really remember much.
I love the songs in that one. I'm
Mulan.
not a big Disney like song guy. I never really have been, but I love the songs in that one. Mainly because they were something that you wouldn't see in like normally a Disney movie. They were dark, kind of.
I remember Hellfire.
Yeah, Hellfire and
Like
like
fire, oh fire. or
and
something
the opening
Yeah,
one,
like
like
that.
I love that
see the innocent blood you have spilt on the steps of Notre Dame. She ran, I pursued, I am without fault.
Too bad it's burnt down now.
When I was a boy, I ate 12 eggs.
song. Gaston, Beauty and the Beast.
I don't know why they keep like doing live action Disney movies.
I don't
Just
think it's good. I don't think
Because
the new-
they are out of creativity and need to retrace their steps with something.
Like they
Yeah,
had
why
such
don't
just
they just make
More
like,
money. That's
Yeah.
it.
new movies like Atlantis or like newer like not versions but like kind of similar to like Atlantis or like Treasure Island. Like I'd fucking be down for that shit.
I'm kind of tired of seeing like 3D.
I like 2D much better.
Yeah, I want just original style, like just drawings.
Well, and that's the unfortunate thing, because
I think the last one they did was Princess and the Frog.
probably.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Really?
right?
Yeah, it's been
when
that
you
while
when
ago.
you animate it, it kind of becomes kind of timeless.
Yeah.
So a lot of you can't really say, oh, we're gonna reanimate it because people are gonna be like, well,
It's
first
just the same
one
movie.
just as good.
Real talk, I don't like Frozen or that type of animation. I like
CGI?
2D. Yeah, I don't like that.
Here's the
thing
thing:
is-
I'm not one of those people who goes out looking for good CG. But if anyone's going to pull off CG, Disney does it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
they
will
do good,
admit, Frozen, like, not just the first one, but the second one too, and onward, they were visually stunning. Like, I actually enjoyed seeing them. The newest Scoob movie, I didn't like the plot of the Scoob movie, but it was visually very nice looking too.
Rapunzel. That was like my favorite 3D CGI that they've made. It was actually fun. Like it was like a
Yeah.
fun adventure.
You mean Tangled?
Huh?
Tangled?
Tangled, yeah.
Same fucking deal.
Same
That
fucking shit.
girl had a fucking big backswing.
What?
Do you not remember that fucking scene where she has the fucking cast iron pan right into fucking
I
Finn's
thought you were
Oh,
face?
gonna.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna give in to your primal urges for a second. That girl's got a big knockers, rub sweat off forehead.
Bush.
But like, and you know, the thing is, right? I find with those 3D animated ones, they look nice. They look good.
Yeah.
It's just
It leaves something wanting.
it just leaves me feeling like it served its purpose. Now the thing is, obviously, I can see how like Frozen is a good example. When they did the actual like freezing effects and all that,
Yeah.
it looked really nice. And obviously, it was probably easier for them to do it in 3D animation, and it probably
Certainly.
looked better doing it like that. But as far as the rest of the movie goes, as far as the rest of the movie is concerned and how it goes, it was basically just. It wasn't special animation. It looked good and served its purpose.
Q is handing us
Sticks of dynamite.
tabs of acid.
Cocaine.
Okay.
Like, I feel like because they have such high budgets, they overdo it. Like the older animated films for me were like, probably really cheap. They made a lot of money off of it, and it gets the story through, and it doesn't have to be supported. Like the visuals are only there to support. It's not the center of the plot, right? So like you can pull off. I'm sure you can if you made Frozen into a 2D animation like Atlantis or like any of the other older movies. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Everybody wants them to redo Atlantis, and I'll admit I used to be kind of like that a bit before too, where it's like, why don't you just redo Atlantis with like live action? And now I'm like,
no.
why
No.
would they? It's already fine. I
It's
don't
so
need-
good already.
Just make it available for us to watch the original, you know?
Mhm. If they're gonna do it, make it like R-rated or something. Like
Oh.
it has to be like crazy if they want to.
You have
like,
to actually change it as a problem.
yeah.
Like it has to be violent in some scenes.
And that's the thing too. A lot of the retellings of it, they don't really change anything.
no
Other
they don't.
than that, it's just live action.
It's
or
just
they
reskins.
They change like different characters. Obviously, like I'm not gonna hark on them for like changing like voice actors or characters or people because like for one, like the biggest one with that, the genie, Robin Williams is no longer with us. They aren't gonna get somebody to redo Robin Williams.
But here's where I respect Will Smith. He even tweeted before, like when we found out he got the role. It's like, I have some mighty fine shoes to fill, and I will try my best to do so. So it's not like he copped out. I would bet William went 1,000% with his genie.
Oh yeah,
role.
he stuck his guns. He stuck to his guns. I won't deny that. I haven't seen the retelling of it because I don't want to.
Just don't care.
Don't need to. Yeah. But like, man, I really wish they would go back to like their roots of adventure films in like 2D telling. Like that was the shit I got hooked on. That was like the shit I was like, this is Disney. This is actually like good Disney shit.
Well, and I feel in an unfortunate position that I only really got into art and animation and stuff like that after animated films and shit started dying out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been great to be like really into this stuff when Disney was in their prime doing all the animated classics people like when you know, you could say animation was worse back then, but also like that's when the classics and stuff came out.
Oh, you know, I'd say the otherwise because I think Disney animations even back then were friggin' amazing.
Oh, they were certainly fucking
Like they were, I would say they were better than Japanese animation at the time. That's like their animation, like flow was so spotless.
Oh yeah.
Compared to like Japanese animation where it has to, you can see the frames.
Well, that's the thing too. They were so far ahead of the game. They were like one of the first people doing it.
And here's one scene that you can always point to that shows that Disney was just fucking amazing at what they do. I'm pretty sure it was Beauty and the Beast, the one scene where they're dancing in the ballroom and the camera spins around them as they are dancing and spinning themselves.
Yeah.
You don't think, if you don't actually care about animation, you don't think about it. And even if you do, you might not think about it. But actually pulling that off, making the perspective spin while the characters are spinning and doing an actual dance with flowing clothes and everything, keeping in mind they have like moving fur and hair and size differences, the camera still spins around it and it looks smooth and good.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Like, I remember even as a kid that scene was like, I didn't even really care about Beauty and the Beast that much because I had other ones to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that scene so vividly because it was so eye-catching.
Yeah, and that single scene just shows how fucking ahead of the game Disney was. And the thing is, right, have you ever seen someone try to emulate that when they're like not a particularly good animation
I haven't
studio?
seen anything like that in anime from when I started watching. So
there was one. There was this company or whatever that would basically try to knock off Disney, but obviously they weren't a very good, profitable company or anything. There's one. They did one animation thing where they tried to emulate that Beauty and the Beast scene. Where it was just one character and she was like spinning around and dancing in a field or something, and the camera tried to do that thing. It looked fucking awful. And it's like, you just look at that and you look at what Disney pulls off and like, the age-old tragic story about animators. They fucking bust their balls to do some incredible shit, but it's just set dressing for a lot of people.
Yeah, like that's the thing too, where like, when it comes to a lot of animation, you're just kind of... I'm not an animator. I know very little about art. But, like, you can tell that a lot of these people go nearly unthanked unless it's from somebody that actually knows what they do.
Yeah.
Because, like you said before, that's seamless. It looks perfect. And people, yes, they can tell that it's very good looking, but they don't fully grasp that, like, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They may literally, I think it's one of the most underappreciated jobs and the hardest ones to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you only get, like, if you do that scene, right? How long is it realistically compared to the entire movie? And you have to spend so much time in one tiny little frame.
That little frame was probably only maybe not even 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And that probably took months to animate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just setting up the idea for it, actually, like, hashing out rough shit, then seamlessly fucking putting it together. And this was...
It's on a circular floor as well. It's on a circular fucking floor.
Honestly, though, like, Disney probably is the only company that probably could have pulled that off because they have such long history with animation.
Mm-hmm.
What did they start in, like, the 20s or the 10s? I think it's the 20s.
Long fucking time ago.
With Steamboat Willie.
Whenever Walt Disney was like, hey, let's make a company. Like, that's how long ago it was. So, it's been a while, but they've really knocked it out of the park. I don't know why the hell they're moving to CGI and abandoning their roots, because it's
easier.
Just easier, yeah.
It's disproportionate.
They can crank out more movies than anybody else can.
It's just disproportionate. It's disproportionate costs and effort and time to the actual profit it will make. Like before, you have passionate people basically pushing boundaries that have never historically not been the greatest, but people like animation. They're like, we're gonna make the best animation in the fucking business, and then they did it, and that turns a massive profit. In fact, the Disney animated movies themselves are a legacy that everyone fucking knows about. But nowadays, that shit just kind of doesn't happen anymore.
No.
What if, hold on, just overnight, what if, like, all anime turned into 3D?
Oh, God.
Like, just that 3D
Tyler would
animation.
Aw, titties!
You mean like good Disney 3D animation?
No.
Wait, are we
like Jimmy
talking...
Neutron level.
I would stop watching. I mean, I already don't watch, but
I've watched a few that were actually pretty alright.
I know Land of the Lustrous was the big one, but I never.
A lot of mech animes are like that, but not
They've
that
changed
bad.
over.
Well, and here's the thing, right? With mech anime in particular, you can actually go half and half with mech anime because mech, like, not all of them, but like the most famous mechs, you know, your Gundams and shit, and everything that kind of branches off of that. Their design is meant to be very boxy and shit, and so if you're gonna do anything with CGI, that kind of mech style, really perfectly suited for it.
Like
it's still a little spotty in some
It
areas.
is. It's not perfect, but it helps to mask it more than if you're trying to make something look proper in the CG format.
Like I've been watching Overlord. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
Or know what it is.
I'm kind of a little bit of the ways into the manga.
I'm caught up on the manga. I
Jesus.
believe 12 are out right now.
Okay, well, I'm not too far back.
Well,
Okay.
in the anime, they do use like 3D CGI stuff. I think they use it pretty well because it tends to be the large amount of people, like an army kind of deal, but obviously they're just standing there. But also most small characters will have it. So like I said, knights. He summons his own undead knights. They tend to be CGI.
Actually, now that I think about it, because I probably, of all the people here, watch Slice of Life the most.
Oh yeah, probably.
All the vehicles in a Slice of Life anime, just like average trucks and trains that go by the towns or the cities, whatnot, they're all 3D CGI. Everything else.
Why would you stop to make them like 2D? Why would you bother to try and animate different cars moving down the road?
It might be easier because 3D you can easily model it and then just put it in that frame, and you just have to have the background drawing.
It's just like a small detail, anyways. It doesn't truly matter.
So I mean, there are merits to it, but I can't get behind it as much because I'm a boomer. And I like the old style stuff. So.
Here's the thing, right?
2D over the CGI.
I remember mentioning this to Eric before, but Ghibli is doing a 3D animated movie.
Who's that?
When's that coming out again?
Wait,
the guys that made
Spirited Away.
Oh,
Spirited Away, Princess
Rises,
Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle,
that's gonna
Ponyo.
And
actually,
it could work.
Well,
it could
judging
work
by the
because
screenshots, it looks good. It looks like
Here's
they're
the thing,
kind
though,
of
too.
Eastern Disney with that.
It's almost on the same level as Disney, simply because it isn't as popular as Disney.
Well,
Spirited
I'll
Away
this
was a visually stunning movie. I fucking love that movie.
All the movies,
all of them look great.
That's the whole.
So
point.
I'm a skeptic by nature, but I think they can pull it off.
Well,
I think it'll be okay.
I think it would. It's either you love it or you hate it kind of deal.
Well, I've actually played a game that was 3D modeling of the Studio Ghibli art designers and everything.
Is that Ni no Kuni?
Yep, Ni no Kuni 2, and it was very well done, very aesthetically pleasing. It's still not on the par level of Spirited Away or any of the other ones.
They don't have perfect control over everything. And
well, I personally prefer the blend colors of like 2D styles, but the character models were seamless. They were very well voiced too, and then like it was the story itself. Ni no Kuni is Ni no Kuni. It's just a JRPG.
Dead mom.
But like it was pretty good. The art styling is good, but I don't know if it'll be perfect for a movie. So
we can only wait and find out.
What are they
but I
making
thought that
the movie
studio
about?
was dead.
Did they even say witches?
Actually, it's about a band.
A band.
Oh, there's a really cool anime about a band. They're not a band, but like these two girls. No. It came out last year.
It always fucking bugs me when you say that because I always read it as K-On.
I read it as K-On.
Oh, you'll be very glad that I say it very rarely.
I don't know, if you guys like music and anime, like there's apparently a really good one out last year that's about like these two girls.
Find a
girl.
These two girls that do street performance and like music and whatnot.
Buskers.
These two badoy girls.
I thought you were talking about.
Whoa, mama! Eyeballs pop out of head, jaw drops.
Tongue unfurls.
Girls.
Okay, Tom.
But I'm not very big into music. Like I like music and all
either.
that. It's just some people are like, oh yeah, I love the music in this thing. I never pay that much attention to it. It needs to really stand out to me if I'm going to remember it outside of the movie.
There's like a slice of life romance kind of deal, music anime called Nana, which is one I really like.
Oh, it's my name.
Nana?
Oh, Nana.
Get it? Because they go on stage and go na 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 na.
No, it's because it was two girl roommates who were both named Nana.
Girls?
One was in
Knockers?
like a, huh?
Knockers? No, I'm just.
Bonkers.
Polkas?
No, they had the typical like one piece, super skinny. No, it's mainly a.
How old is it?
Oh.
Well, it's probably
early
about like
2000s.
17, 18,
Okay.
judging
And
by
it's-
Japanese.
It's one of those animes that are obviously directed towards girls because they'll tend to love it more.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Because all the guys look hot and
And-
the girls.
And here's the thing about music anime in general. I don't really watch it because, as I said, I'm not that into music. But, it's not like I have anything fucking against it. But with anime in particular, just the way they tend to animate it, it makes it very dull for me. Like,
Yeah,
because it's like they work up to the big point when the payoff is supposed to be when they're in like the concert or whatever and playing their music, and what they're doing is they're standing there in really stiff, animation, going
And they're always
Some of them
sweating
they use
buckets.
3D too. I remember.
and here's the thing, right? I would actually be interested in watching a music-based anime like that if it was animated with like very energetically animated. Like I'm talking some Trigger shit,
Here's the
that's
thing.
High School
find
Musical, the anime.
Here's
Let me
my
find that.
Fuck off.
here's my experience with music anime. I'm not a big fan of it, but I liked Backstreet Street Girls. That was the one where the guys got transformed into girls to become a pop idol group. I thought it was
They were Yakuza.
yeah, but
I remember that.
it's my experience with it is that and a 2-minute gif of "You're out of touch, I'm out of time."
No,
but they
I
played
found
it
it.
over Lucky Star.
It's
That's
really
it.
That's the fucking. I love that meme just because of the layers it goes on. You take Out of Touch and put it over Lucky Star, and then you got a meme, and then it just becomes this entire huge fucking meme where they're remaking the Lucky Star intro with different characters, but putting Out of Touch over it rather than the actual Lucky Star opening.
I found it. It's called
Carol and Tuesday.
Bye, sausage.
Carol and Tuesday. It came out last year. And
Let's
apparently-
get cherry pie! The nice sensation!
I don't know. I like.
Have
the
you
art
ever
style.
seen? You remember that Batman clip
Like-
where they had put shit over it
I
and
like it.
dubbed the Joker, where the Joker shows Batman something in the interrogation room? You ever seen that meme?
Not a dis-
The one
Carol
from the
on
movie?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one I saw where the Joker shows him the fucking Lucky Star intro with Out of Touch. It's like, what is this? Well, it's Out of Touch Thursday, Batman. Like, that's not the song. This is a Lucky Star. That's not the song. And he named the intro, and it's like, well, it's not supposed to. The song fits better. It's like it's not right, and it's like
No way.
and he's like,
Where is she?
well, why you're such a fucking weeb, Joker? It's like, you're the one who identified it as Lucky Star. So he just picks him up and throws him.
I just got fucking goosebumps. Carol on Tuesday, the producer, made Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, Halo, apparently. But Cowboy Bebop,
He just makes
Eureka
every
7,
Halo.
holy fuck. This
Halo
studio's
did
fucking-
have an anime.
I remember watching the Halo animated shorts.
Holy fuck! I gotta try to watch this thing.
That was really weird because they were some of them were very anime, but this was before I actually watched anime.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
feel
watching
so
the
old.
Animatrix, and I got sick in the
I
third one.
hate that.
I got sick in the third one because the robot grabbed the guy by his face and ripped his head in half, and I threw up.
It's been a long time since I've seen the Animatrix.
But
I'll
like
watch
I
it
was,
again.
I was perfectly fine with seeing a robot like shove its tentacle through a girl's stomach. That's just me though.
That's just life.
That's just hentai.
No, it didn't go in through a hole. It made a hole. You see.
That's just hentai.
Hey, man,
Tyler.
I don't know what you're watching, but
But
you should stop.
You cannot understand my disappointment when I thought I had Matrix 3. So I open up the case, I take it out, I put it in my DVD player, I get fucking Animatrix.
I mean, to be fair, the Animatrix is way fucking better than Matrix 3.
Yeah. I remember I was fucking 7. My uncle gave me the Animatrix. He just gave it to me for fucking Christmas. I don't know why. I never showed any interest in the Matrix. It's like, what are kids these days like? Oh, they like them cartoons. Okay, the Animatrix. Oh, I remember watching the Matrix, but they made a cartoon about it. Cool. Maybe he'll like the Matrix when he's older too.
That just reminds me of the meme I saw where an old parent was buying their grandson a present, and the father tells him, yeah, he likes this game called Minecraft, and of course they're German. So the
I had a feeling that's where
grandfather
this is going.
gets the book Mein Kampf, and the dad's like, Minecraft, not Mein Kampf. And the kid's just looking at it. Woo.
Hitler.
I feel like that's fake. That's too crazy to be real.
But no, honestly,
It's still
I could
funny.
see it being happening.
Fucking the Matrix talk reminded me of when I first watched the Matrix. I watched the Matrix because my mom's like, you gotta watch the fucking Matrix.
She bursted in your room, grabbed you by your cheeks, and shook you. Was like, "You gotta watch the fucking Matrix."
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if she did that with a few movies. I feel like she would do that with Back to the Future. Every time Back to the Future comes up, have you seen Back to the Future? No. Why haven't you seen Back to the Future? I'm like, you never showed it to me. What the fuck?
Have you seen?
I'm disappointed.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
No.
Or
You still haven't seen
No.
it?
the first one's going on the list, and you gotta tell this to your mom. Eric's making you watch Back to the Future. That'll score good boy points with me.
Yeah. But fucking when I initially when she showed me the fucking Matrix, she's like, now there's technically 2 movies after this if you want to watch them. I'm like, well, I don't know. Do you want to watch them? No. I'm like, well, okay. And then like later on, you know, we'd be talking about whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I've never seen the Matrix 2 and 3. You're not missing anything. I'm like, okay.
I remember liking the second one.
Second one's the best.
I've never watched Matrix.
All right, Matrix going on the list.
Movie list.
Trilogy.
No, not trilogy. Maybe just like, I want to say the second one too, but I don't think the second one.
I like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, no. Second one can stay, not the third one. They fucked up.
How bad did they fuck up?
Cry more, Tyler.
All right, I'm gonna put it this way: everything was cool in the fake world.
Mm-hmm.
They put it in the real world for the last one.
Oh, that's gay.
Yeah,
Also, too much Jesus.
What?
yeah, it was very religious centric.
You know the main character. Do you know the main character's name in the Matrix?
No.
His name's Neo. Spell it backwards. It's the one. It's just one.
Oh.
No, it's not.
There's not the in there. You fucking liberal.
It's actually not spelled like that. Didn't they call him the one?
Yeah, because he was like the prophesized one.
Right. It's
Not because where's the R in one?
What?
You
R?
said
Where's the R in one?
Did you not say fucking Nero backwards translate
No,
to the
Neo.
one?
Neo.
Oh.
Also, it's
Where's
not
the R
backwards.
in
It's
one?
just
I thought you said
rearranged.
Neo.
An anagram.
Anagram. That's a smart.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is of the Matrix is that Neo is the one, and he's like super cool and can control.
But where's the?
It's in the small print.
There's no T, H, and E to rearrange.
His last name is Et.
No, it's actually 10.
But as the movies progressed, he basically becomes fucking stronger in the simulation. But then the third movie, they decide, well, we're
gonna make a big fucking drill. You need a bigger drill.
Yes. They decided, rather than just make him like a cool simulation dude, they made him Jesus. So there's literally a point where he goes blind, and then he's just seeing things, because, like, I can see. And this is not...
Alright, no, here's what we're gonna do.
This is a real world it happens.
I'm Chica dancing right now. Like, yo!
What the fuck is a Chica dance?
You don't know what the Chica dance is?
If it's like Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't
No!
know.
It's an anime thing. I'm disappointed.
If you ain't talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm the lore master.
What anime?
Alright, no, we're getting off topic. Chica dance doesn't matter.
Chica dance.
Here's what we're gonna do.
The fucking silver-haired bitch.
We're gonna watch. No.
Pink. Was it pink?
Pink.
Yes. You
So with the bow on the
Yeah.
The bow.
bow.
Okay. I thought it was her dress that was with like a pinky purple.
It was black.
Oh.
Black and white. It's like
Well,
school
I just
uniform.
know her as a clown then. Her skin was like white, red, smile, big nose. You know.
She was the most fun character. She still is.
Yeah. Alright, no, we're not talking about Kaguya-sama Love is War. Alright.
Love is
Goo
war.
Goo Gaga.
Love is
Yeah,
war.
Goo Goo Gaga Love is War. But, alright. So,
It is though.
What are we talking next?
Continue.
here's what we're gonna do. When it comes to watching the Matrix movie, we're gonna watch Matrix 1, then Matrix 2 Reloaded, and then we're gonna watch Constantine. That's the trilogy.
I fully
That was
support this.
Constantine.
It's another Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh.
But
It
it's not in line with the Matrix at all. But it doesn't
It's just
have to
another
be.
Keanu Reeves movie. They're all in one universe.
Alright,
If you didn't know.
Matrix 1, he realizes that he's a very strong individual. Matrix 2, he saves Trinity and realizes he's very, very strong. Matrix 3, he changes life around and he fights demons.
He fights demons and gets cancer.
Yeah.
And then Constantine.
That's
That's
Constantine.
Constantine.
You thought that was the Matrix?
Yeah, Matrix 3, he just goes and works at McDonald's. It's okay. He fights demons on the side.
And then we're gonna watch Fight Club after that. Keanu Reeves isn't in that one, but I feel like it should tie in at some point.
Yeah, first rule
All the
about
names I'm
Matrix, we'll talk
hearing
about.
of these movies are like super famous, but I've never seen them. So
I mean,
That's good.
same. Most of the time, I see famous movies because people are very disappointed in me for not watching the famous movie already. So
You
I,
haven't seen Star Wars!
you're not missing out.
Not really!
Especially the new
7, 8, 9
ones.
trash. Except
Alright,
for
here's what you gotta do. You gotta watch episode 3 and then the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
other one... Every
You
other
can
one
skip
ain't it.
them.
One and
Yeah.
two don't matter.
Maybe watch Rogue One. Rogue One was good.
Nah, it was pretty bad in my opinion.
I liked Rogue One. Solo
Solo was
was
the-
good.
mm.
We're not talking about Star Wars anyone unless it's about General Grievous, because I love General Grievous.
Yo, Graves was a cool dude.
General Kenobi.
Did you hear what they did after the movie came out? This is probably like 5 or 6 years after the movie came out with General Grievous. People were complaining, why the fuck does he cough? Then
George
George...
he has Corona.
No,
Yeah.
George Lucas then came in and was like, okay, we'll make this little animated short on the reason why he coughs. And it's just
No
fucking
way.
Mace Windu force fucking crushing
No,
his
that was
lungs.
that was the original Star Wars Clone Wars before the 3D animated Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah,
that
that
was
one.
the shit.
That was
fucking
if they
get
come
the
out-
animation.
If they don't
Gen
come
Z
out
man,
with
I don't
another
fucking
one of
know.
those, all right, that was Cartoon Network's magnum opus.
Bruh.
Yes, yes.
Those fucking scenes with Grievous in that fucking series.
Grievous was a badass.
He was my favorite just because of that fucking...
Then he got deep dick in the movie.
He was a bitch in the animated cartoon as well. Like
and here's the thing, right?
Because I like the 3D animated one, but it felt like a superhero show.
I feel like he
there was
literally
not a
went
lot at
downhill from that animated cartoon movie.
And that's the thing,
He
right?
did.
You hear
So
people
hard.
talk about him. You hear people talk about him in the original, and the point was that he was like this silent, pure Jedi killing machine. You know, he was, and you see him in that animated series, and he kills fucking Shaggy, and then a bunch of Jedi. But
and then in the
Shaggy.
third movie, how many Jedi did he kill? One in the deleted scenes. It was Shaw
And-
T, which isn't even canon anymore.
Here's
No.
the thing, right? You hear people talk. You hear them talk about him when they reach like the CG and like live action shit in the third movie. They rather than explain him as like cold blooded fucking Jedi killer, they fucking addressed him as like, oh yeah, he's like this cheeky villain. Like he's a mustache twirling villain who does something dastardly then runs away. And you want to know what he fucking does in a lot of the fucking the other Clone Wars one where he appears? He fucking does basically nothing, then runs away. Or he gets the shit kicked out of him and runs away. He fucking got captured by Gungans.
I remember him having some decent scenes where he fucking kills Jedis.
Well, yeah, it was a very long show.
Yeah.
Of course, there would be decent.
There's some.
scenes.
It's just why is the guy who's supposed to like collect lightsabers from the Jedi he fucking throttles? Why does he like? Why are there so many
does he wear
scenes
the
of him
mask?
just being petulant and running around and being like, I get fucking killed by Jar Jar Binks?
My favorite from that show is Palpatine, Uncle Palpaloids.
Big Papa said it.
It was so badass when he fucking fought Maul and his brother.
Tyler's
Oh, God.
choking. Tyler, look out!
Not joking.
The arm is possessed. It's getting him.
It reached out. It reached. It's...
You were supposed to moan.
Don't start with this. Last episode was an abomination.
Last
This
episode.
episode's an
Where's the
abomination.
belt? The fucked belt.
Yes, my suit belt.
I can't hold that. Okay, I'm not the only one who heard that.
Oh, the Goofy movie too. The Goofy
Oh
movie.
god.
What if you could just like perfectly replicate the Wilhelm scream?
I feel like that would be a good party trick, but it would not be serviceable or like useful in real life.
It'd be great if you were like a stunt.
It'd be like a one-time use good thing.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would a stunt person need that when they just edit in the Wilhelm scream?
That's a good point.
Authenticity.
It doesn't matter.
As well as not.
that fuck the person
The
who did
Wilhelm
that scream is dead.
Why is it called the Wilhelm scream?
Because the guy who made it was named Wilhelm.
Oh, really?
It's like an old black and white movie.
Oh.
And they keep reusing it.
Because I watch a lot of Indiana Jones movies, so
It's in every
always
fucking
in there.
movie.
It's always there. At least like 3 times in a movie, just for the cannon fodder guys to die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I wish that my job was just make screams for like cannon fodder people. I would
What's
love
that
my
job
job.
called?
The screamer?
No, there's
The
someone like
Foley artist.
yeah that.
Oh yeah, Foley, because Foley is the audio.
Those are cool. I like those people.
They're neat.
When they
They're
need
also
to
more
break a
creative than
bone,
me.
they just break celery in their hand.
Oh, that'll be pretty cool as a job.
Or like somebody's getting like cracking their knuckles, they like crunch on macaroni.
Yeah.
Like I remember
Knuckles?
seeing just a clip
Yeah.
of the dude who
Something.
does a lot of Foley on Game of Thrones, and he's sitting there like, so we got to get the sword out of a scabbard, right? So he puts the sword like against a spatula, shing. And that's like if you watch Game of Thrones and you see someone take a sword out of the sheath or the scabbard or whatever the fuck it's called, you'll hear the sound and just know in the back of your head that's a spatula rubbing against the sword.
Actually, I've heard something similar. Not that example, but like for Star Wars. You remember the AT-ATs, the friggin' big ass walkers?
Yeah.
Those are literally just hydraulic presses. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the legs are basically hydraulic presses.
I remember watching a video on like how Dead Space was made, and like it was mainly directed around that one scene where like they were doing something groundbreaking, where like the guy gets grabbed by a tentacle and he has to shoot it at a certain point, and that was a part that like halted production for like 3 months. But they were talking about like finding sound for a really scary scene, and it was just a guy like on the subway to get home, and he was like, "Doesn't this sound scary?" And he recorded it.
And it worked?
Yeah, and they put it in the game, and it was for like a really scary chase scene.
I love that shit.
That just reminds me of the dragon from Lord of the Rings. The actual sound behind the dragon's a fucking donkey.
Fucking
Donkey.
I want to know how they got the sounds for like the crunching when you step on shit in Dead Space, but fucking.
It was more of a wet
stupid
crunch,
sound.
so I would assume that it would be like maybe
Wet
somebody violently fisting a fucking bowl of macaroni.
I can imagine it being like cracking open a watermelon, but you lower the
or like
pitch.
somebody putting a coconut under a hydraulic press.
And you speed it up a little.
Yeah.
Crunch. That'd be pretty cool. But
That's
also,
the thing about like Foley art.
I
That's
wonder,
crazy.
because in the first Dead Space, Isaac didn't talk, but he starts talking in the later ones. They still had a voice actor for Isaac in the first one, because it was the man who does so many different grunts and screams. Like, imagine you get hired on for this new game. It's like, all right, you're going to be the voice of our protagonist, okay? I need a lot of pain, a lot of grunting, and a lot of screaming. Can you do that? Like,
I just got reminded of what was it, Logan or Wolverine? Remember when
I
he
was thinking that
running
exact
on
same
that,
thing.
running on the treadmill and just like screaming. Ah!
Yeah, he was
He did that at his own house. His kids were watching. They fucking cowered in the corner.
He was voice overing the scene where he's running through the fucking woods killing all those guys.
When I was
I'm
watching
not
that
a big,
video.
I'm not a big hero fan, but movies like that, they're good. I always watch them.
I only watched.
I prefer the hero movies where it's an emphasis on the human element of it. It's one of the reasons Watchmen was better.
See, I like Iron
even
Man.
the
Sky High, best superhero movie.
Yo, I swear to God, My Hero Academia knocked that shit off.
For sure.
Fucking knocked it off. Dead ass, 100%. But oh my God,
They're
Sky
gonna
High.
make the My Hero Academia anime, and it's gonna be All Might's gonna be Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Main Deku that's gonna be
Michael
Cera, and then Gravity Girl is gonna be Scarlett Johansson. Not Scarlett Johansson. What's that fucking girl's name? The one with the red head. That's in like every.
Scarlett Johansson.
No. Emma Stone.
Oh,
Please no.
bro.
Bakugo's gonna be Tobey Maguire.
Please?
Tobey Maguire.
That would be sick.
Oh man, I gotta rewatch Iron Man. That's a
Speaking
fucking good
of
series.
Watchmen, have you seen the Watchmen TV show?
I know that it's airing on fucking not BBC. What's that? Fucking
ABC?
HBO.
Oh.
It seemed like an HBO
I
kind of show.
have started watching though.
Is it good so far?
It's interesting. It's
Okay.
It's not bad.
If
I
you're
want to
going,
watch that one with Bill Hader as well. What's that one called?
Who's Bill Hader?
Never mind.
I'm trying to think of what it is because I think we've talked about this before.
I think it's like just a guy's name, like Ronnie or something.
Bill?
Yeah. No. How long has this podcast been going on for?
Oh, we're only at an hour and 18.
Okay.
All right, what's the next topic?
I had other topics, but we just fucking didn't. I didn't.
we went on a tangent after.
Yeah, we went on a big old
Uzaki-chan's
Bro,
body
we haven't had a
proportion.
topic
Barry?
all thing. What?
Is the show called Barry?
Barry, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, what's an uncomfortable situation that you were in that you couldn't get out of?
That I am
This
in.
podcast.
You can get out of the pod. Actually, no.
So wait, you said
I'm
an
joking,
embarrassing
I'm joking.
situation that I
An
was in
uncomfortable
but couldn't get-
situation.
Uncomfortable. Oh.
That you like had difficulty getting out of.
For me, it's easy. Whenever I'm at school and the guys are talking about cars, I don't know shit about cars, but I have to stick around them, kinda.
All right,
My
I might
second
have
time
have
having
a-
sex.
You couldn't get out of it?
Kyler, I don't think this is the perfect time for that.
Don't stop like that.
Have I told the wedding thing that
I
I
think
was
so,
at
yeah.
on the podcast?
Where, like, you were talking to your cousin?
No, it was
Or am
the
I thinking of
grandpa.
a different one.
No.
I
Wasn't that
remember
like
you
your
mentioning a wedding.
grandpa or uncle was like very transphobic or some shit.
No, that was actually at a family gathering.
Oh.
And I
Are you
think...
talking about the see-through dress?
Yes!
Ah.
Did I tell that one on the podcast?
Oh, I don't think so.
Say it. anyways.
Alright, I was at a wedding once, and it was like, it wasn't a huge fancy wedding kind of thing, because I believe this was like after the wedding or something. After or before, it was just a
The
small thing with
reception
some extra friends or some shit, I
thing.
don't know. We were just in a place, and we were all hanging around doing whatever the fuck. I was like a young kid, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Why
but
would
it was
pee
like-
hard?
We'll get to that. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I'm kind of bored. I don't have a phone at this age to fucking fiddle around with, and people would probably look at me funny if I did.
Yeah, it was last year. I just got one this year.
Yeah. But there's, I believe it was the daughter of the woman who was married, I presume. She was at least, someone there. And she was older, much older than me. But probably around the age that we are now. She was wearing a very nice, she was wearing a very nice dress. Was it yellow or purple?
Wasn't it like blue?
It's your fucking memory.
It's your memory.
I can't remember,
else.
but we'll get there to that.
Yellow
It was
is much
probably
easier
purple.
see-through.
I think, yeah. I could see
Yeah.
I could see her ass. It was a very nice dress and all, but the material was too thin and see-through. So I could just see this person's ass the entire time, and I'm a kid, right? And I'm sitting there like, that seemed pretty embarrassing. Should I draw attention to this, or should I just like, no, not even. I could go up to her and be like, yo, you
I can
may
see
want to
your
change
butt.
your dress. But I feel like, especially me being a fucking abomination like I am, she'd be really unhappy with me telling her that. So I'm sitting
You were
there.
a kid at that time too.
How old were you?
Actually, I wasn't.
Oh
a
yeah,
super
it was
kid.
last year.
Yeah, just last year. I think I was around. This was like near the entrance of high school, actually.
Okay.
So you're like 14.
So
Yeah, something
it
like
would have
that.
been kind of odd if you
Yeah.
did it then.
I mean, it would have been odd at most
Should have
points.
just said, haha, but.
What I
But I'm sitting, I couldn't figure out what to do because I'm also painfully indecisive. So I'm sitting there like kind of looking back and forth. I look at her, I'm like, okay, I can still see it. I look away and then I look back later. It's like, should I tell her? Is this the good thing to do? Halfway through the night, she disappeared and came back with a different dress that was not see-through.
Someone told
And I'm like, well, good thing someone told her, but I feel a little guilty now.
What I want to know is, like, why didn't they, like, coordinate or something? Why didn't the mom ask, like, so what are you going to wear? Like, it's her daughter that's
It was
going.
probably just like a new choice of clothes for like
But
the
those,
reception.
that's the thing, though. I've been a part of, like, 2 weddings. That doesn't happen.
Well,
There's not a sudden change. Like,
maybe she was just
before.
wasn't
And it's
the
like,
bride's
you would have
only
expected that she'd, like, have tried it on or something, and then someone may have seen, like, hey...
Plot twist is she got cum on the old dress, so she had to change.
That's the thing, though. I know exactly what I would have done if I was a kid in that situation, because I did this from like kindergarten all the way up to maybe grade 8. If somebody's ass crack was showing, I would go up to somebody else. Didn't matter who. I would point and I would go.
Mommy, why my pee-pee hard? But also,
Yeah, that was I couldn't get out of it because I couldn't just leave the wedding as much as I wanted to.
One that I was in was at a workplace. There was a woman. I was like 18 at the time, and she was like 70 or 60.
Silver Fox.
No, don't say that. Or no, she couldn't have been 70. She was probably like late 50s at least. And she was she was just adamant about hanging out with me, and me being like, I'm not smart, but I'm not stupid either. And she was like, you could come over to my place, we could play squash, you, me and my boyfriend can play squash.
Oh.
And she's like, I'm like, no, I kind of got plans on the weekend. And she's like, you can get some drinks out of it. And that's when I was kind of like leaning towards, I could get some drinks. And then I was still like, no, I shouldn't, I can't, I'm not going to do that. That's weird. And she just would not stop asking me to hang out with her. And, like, I would be able to put up with that if she was, like, maybe anybody different. Simply because she was crazy. No. It was not that guy. But she was insane because, like, she would freak out on us for, like, making her feel like she was going slow or doing bad when she was, but, like, we were kind of putting up with it and not saying anything. And she would, like, storm out, she would have a mental breakdown, and then she would leave. And we would have to take on her workload as well. But then the next day she would come back fine. That's not a one-time thing. That happened at least, like, maybe 15 times in the 3 months that she was at our workplace. Jesus. So, and, like, she treated it like it was nothing. Eventually she got fired, and that's how I got out of it. Wow. And, like, she was asking, oh, what's your Facebook? And I'm like, I keep telling her, I don't have Facebook. When I did.
Not like that was so.
Yeah, I dodged a bullet.
Should have said, hit me up on Grindr.
Christian Mingle real quick.
I remember
Farmers Meet.
I remember one occurrence that I well, there was one time. So fucking history. I have hearing loss, and so at one point, fucking hack frauds basically said, "Oh, you should get hearing aids. They'll totally increase they'll make your hearing better, help in school, all that." And I'm like, okay. It didn't. It was all a sham. Fuck that.
That's the thing. I remember you going up with your little recorder and like slapping it on our teacher's forehead, and they were like, "Oh yeah, right." And then you walk back.
Because this continued into high school. It started in like grade 7, 8.
And I remember like your hearing nurse lady thing.
Of course, everyone does, and I hate it. This entire segment of my life is like a horrible point because I really hated that stuff. But of course, when it became a new thing,
we all got our thing. You ain't alone.
The classroom was, of course, chairs scraping around. People don't know what the fuck it means to like move your chair up when you're trying to get out, so you don't deafen everyone. But anyway, because of that shit, and because they couldn't just give me some hearing aids and let me go on my merry way, they had to fucking go extra miles for that shit. They bring in a bunch of fucking tennis balls and like, all right, everyone's gonna start putting these fucking tennis balls on the feet of chair.
Is that why we had to do that?
Yeah, it was because of me. And the thing is, I remember talking to people, and they're like, "Why the hell are we doing this?" I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know. And then afterwards, like, suddenly they set up fucking, speaker receptor things in the wall of a bunch of classrooms, and they give the teacher a little microphone device. Like, "Oh, what's that for?" And then she's like, "Okay, Kyle, we've got it all set up for you." I'm like, "Shut up!"
They should have just made it like cool and obvious, where like you had your own throne in the room.
Yeah, if only.
And like they plugged fake things into like a big skull receptor.
Just give me a golden throne already.
Yeah.
But I always hated that because it's like I don't want people to know that all this stupid shit is for me.
I had on the same kind of topic. I have a awkward moment that I had to escape from.
Okay.
Oh god.
It was back when I was in Korean high school.
This blonde idiot kept talking to me.
No.
He's kind of balding now. He invited me on the
I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that, 100%.
I think he might shoot up the place.
Throw resin at everyone.
The resin.
I was still in high school in Korea, and it's a rainy day, and I had an umbrella, and I was going home from school late, and there was this girl from my classroom.
Were you a simp?
No. But, like, she didn't have an umbrella, and I was like, well, I'll walk you to the bus station, and then we were walking together under the umbrella, like a friggin' cliche anime shit going on right there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this ain't right, chief. So I was like...
You looked down, she has a boner.
No, actually, she has, at the time at school, I remember her having probably the best ass and probably the best tits at the time for a 17-year-old.
This is leading into a hentai.
So, anyways, but like it wasn't like a stranger type of thing because I already knew her and everything, but we're like on a daily basis talking friends type thing. We're just like more like acquaintances. So like I was like, this is awkward. And then we're close to the bus station, and I'm like, I can run from my to my house from here, even though it's 3 kilometers away. So I tell her, I'll be fine. You take the umbrella. You can give it back to me tomorrow. So I fucking ran 3 kilometers to my house in the rain, going up a fucking hill.
This is some fucking straight animation.
This is the most awkward shit I've ever fucking encountered that I had to escape from. I was like, this ain't right, chief. This ain't right. Oh my god.
I like to think I'm a well-adjusted individual when it comes to not being super awkward. Like, super, super awkward.
That's fair.
And then I go up to order food.
Oh, can I get 1 hash brown, please?
No, it's not even like... Well, yes. No, that's a Chad maneuver.
You've done it before.
They always look so angry in there.
And I smile because I'm very high every time.
No. Right when you go through the drive-thru and you're done giving the order and they're like, all right, that'll be something. And then you say, I love you. And then you just drive.
But I'm fine when I'm not like super even though I do that a lot when I'm regularly talking because like my brain's like a fucking Windows computer from 1930.
Same.
But
I'm at least Vista.
But like what really gets me
like
is I'll walk up ready to give my order and I'm like, hey, how are you? And the
Nice
lady
nightwear.
behind the counter's like, oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm like, yeah, I want to fucking. and I'm starting to give my whole order. I'm like, I want a burger with this on it. It's like with fries. I'm like, hold on, I'm not done my fucking burger yet.
No, Eric goes up to the counter and is like, can I have a do?
And then
Big Mac.
And then I'll finish my order after getting like interrupted, and then I stop to listen to their whole thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and I don't even listen to what they're saying. I'm like, okay, yeah, I just continue with my regular order.
Eric ends up with like 10 fucking pies.
You know what? You know what bugs me?
What?
You go to a store, you go to like a checkout or something, and the person says, hey, how are you? And I say, oh, I'm good, you? And then they don't respond. They don't respond. It makes me angry.
I'm honestly just used to them saying good. Like, that's the most that I've gotten out of a lot of people is
I mean,
good.
Usually they like say like, oh yeah, we're having a good day or
Actually,
anything. I'm like, yeah.
no.
You do.
My worst awkward moments are like, they say exactly what you were gonna say to them, but you still say it to them.
I get that a lot.
When I take cabs, I hate, because obviously we take cabs late at night. I always say have a good day.
That's not even that bad, though.
No.
That
I called my teacher mom once.
I think
I
had-
remember that story. You told
everybody's done
I
that.
had a couple teachers like
no.
that.
You never called
Did
your
you
teacher
call-
mom
did you
before?
Yeah, I called her mom a couple times.
As far as my memory serves, I have never called a teacher mom. It helps because I don't talk to teachers.
I would have smashed.
Stop
Hi.
saying your name.
We're all adults here.
Yeah, she's
How
one
many
more of an
Saturns
adult
are
than you.
there that are
Who
teachers?
cares?
Alright, but what I was gonna say was I'll be getting my debit or my credit card out, and I'll already have it in my hand, and I'll be like, Visa, and they're like, cash or credit? I'm like, Visa? Like, okay. And then they'll go into saying,
in those situations.
They always go into saying, oh, we just call it card, or like we call it plastic. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know, I don't understand your fucking, I don't shop here enough to understand your fucking mottos. I'm paying with credit.
Right? Because fucking Eric will just stand there going like,
I see him do it. I know how he do.
It happens so goddamn often.
Oh man, it's funny.
How far are we?
too far.
20 far.
Too far gone. Alright.
135.
We're going to end this one, gentlemen. Actually, I'll end it with one more question. It doesn't have to be a long-winded one, just a simple
It's
answer.
going to be a long-winded
If
one.
you could have one celebrity on the podcast, who would you have? Living or dead?
Who did we just watch?
Danny DeVito.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling wouldn't say anything.
I mean, that's the same as some of our other guests.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
He just randomly go, you want a toothpick?
I just have a soundboard.
I would have Will Smith.
Will Smith, okay.
So how did you feel?
Smell with?
I would have Christian Bale.
That's a good choice. Kyle?
I said Danny DeVito.
I said Danny DeVito.
I'd love to have that.
That was
guy.
a certified fist bump.
Yeah.
We're gonna end this one with Smash Mouth playing us off. So don't delay, act now, the supplies are running out. The other more about it, here's about it. Might as well be walking on the sun.
Hey now.
Okay, well,
They also
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
And they